Today, I will teach you how to become a Roblox trading pro. So what I notice the most in trading is that people don't realize how much they need to get for their item, if they're giving too much for an item, or if the trade is just bad or good in general. And I'm gonna give you one equation that will help you trade forever. This is how I made it for 100,000 value as seen in the image above. It's really easy to do, and if you get it down just right, then you will honestly be very good at trading. So first, we're gonna talk about wrap items. We're gonna get into valued items a little bit later in the video. But when you're upgrading or downgrading wrap items, then you wanna have one thing in mind. How much does it deserve and how much can you get from it? So let's say you're downgrading. Thick Rainbow Shades is 1,789 Robux. It looks pretty good. So this is like medium demand or high demand. More like medium, but I don't think it's very low. And we're getting 2 items and we're getting a 213 overpay. Now you might be thinking, is this enough overpay? I am getting this ugly max. Is this enough? Is this bad? The first thing to look at is that we're getting a 1,400 item for a 1,700 item. So technically we're only downgrading like 300 Robux. The next important thing is to see how much we're getting. Now there's 2 ways to find out how much do you really need for your Roblox item. The easiest way is to do a quick equation. So open up your calculator. You want to put in 1789 or whatever the price of the item that you're downgrading. Click multiply and do 0.10. So this means that we need at least a 178 OP, and in this trade we're getting a 213 OP, which makes this trade pretty good. Now if these items were low demand, as in they don't sell good, then we would probably ask for more. Now this way is like really reliable for like small items, and like bigger items like 50k maybe not, but this equation is really good if you just don't know what to do or how much you really need or want to give for an item. But if you're upgrading, it's actually a different case. All right, so you would think that, hey, OPing maybe like 152 for this item is good, because if we do the calculation that I'd be using, 167 makes sense, but this actually is bad. You need profit room to actually make profit from what you're upgrading into. Like the way to make profit as a small trader is that when you're upgrading into something, you want to give a little bit less than like what it gets, so that when you downgrade it, then you can get like more. So let's say I OP 50 Robux for item that gets a 100 OPs. When I OP the 50 and then I go downgrade that item and I get 100, I made 50 from that trade. Now, as you can see from this verdict, it says that we use 152 of 167 and our headroom is only 15 Robux. So this is too thin and we should not do this. This is the rotatory bot that's linked in the description. If you want to use it, then it is really helpful as a small trader. So for example, if we only overpaid like 50 Robux in this trade, then that would be good since we have a lot of more like profit margin. Like we can only OP 50 and then we turn around and downgrade it for 167. So we made around like 110 Robux, which is really good. If you give too much in the upgrade, you will not make profit. The only exception is if your items are like low demand, but honestly, you can still profit. Most new traders go off the looks of the item and not the demand, so take that to your advantage. But now it's time to talk about valued items. So you might be asking, is this trade good or bad? We're getting a 300 OP for Black Iron Commando and the items are kind of high demand. Well, this trade is actually bad because if we look at the value request in Rolling Monster Black Iron Commando, it can get more than 300 Robux. And just because these are high demand, it doesn't matter because Black Iron Commando gets way more OPs with even better demand items. So if we go to value request, then we type in Black Iron Commando, then we can see that the latest proof exactly for it was a 500 OP in a 1v1, which is honestly insane. And Winter Top Hat is not even bad. This is a good trade because it gets a 500 OP off the bat and it's a 1v1. And let's take a look at this one. This is a 480 OP for it and it's a 4v1. And the items are not low demand, they're high demand. So the 300 OP that we saw earlier was not good because Black Iron Commando get almost 500 OPs. Always just want to look at what your item gets in value requests, especially if it's valid. That will be really useful when you're trying to determine like, oh, like I have a valued item, like how much do I give for legit and this and that. You can still use the same profit margin rule by the rotatory bot if you want to use it in my description. It will tell you if you're giving too much or if you're like having a good upgrade. So it's very useful. Like to be honest, if I was the guy who was opening 300 for Black Iron Commando, I would be really happy if they accepted because I know that I can flip Black Iron Commando for around a 500 OP. That's really only the main ways to make profit in trading is flipping the item that you get, and honestly it's one of the best ways are the projected flipping to make profit. If you're not downgrading your item for what it gets, then you're going to lose a lot of profit really quickly. Also, I'm gonna tell you another way of how to check how much an item gets and if it's good or low demand. In my rotatory Discord server, we also have a bot made by Luxury Range Rover. AWMans is one of the best bots out there. So if we type in check item, and for example, let's do blue starry sights. It actually tells us how much we should get for it and how much we should receive from it. And this is very, very, very useful. So since we typed in some bot, it says that we should give a 200 OP. When we get the item, we should downgrade it for 360 to around 710. 360 is more like, you know, fair or like more reasonable. It's just estimation. So when we get the 200 OP, then we should downgrade it for like, you know, 400. So we make 200 in the meantime. That's how you flip an item in an upgrade. Now, if we own this item and we're downgrading it, we should not downgrade for 200 because that's just not enough. enough. It has, you know, medium demand, it's not bad. If we downgrade for too low, then no way. For example, this one too, we should get around like a 30 OP, and then we can turn around and flip it for 90 OP. And Skater 14R is amazing demand, so we definitely can get a good trade. Listen, demand matters, and also the items that you're giving or getting matter. If you're giving low demand items, you should probably give like a little bit more, but not too much. And if you're downgrading a high demand item to low demand, then you should probably ask for a little bit more. Basically, the most important things to remember is the, you know, the calculation rule. You can utilize this bot right here. You can utilize the Rotori bot. There's so many resources to become a good trader and to learn from your mistake. Now, this right here, if you can see it, this is a really bad trade for Frosty because Frosty gets around, I think at this time, I think it was around like 500, and I gave a 700 OP with high demand items. So I gave over what it was like really deserving to get, and honestly, I could make no profit from this trade. That's what made this trade so bad, and I still get clowned for it to this day. I swear, Frosty got around like 1,000 OPs, so honestly, I don't know. Hey, maybe it's like a missend. I'm not even sure. But that is it for this video. Please subscribe, join the Discord server, and keep on learning.